Oh no, I zipped the yarn into this. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and this is Birch and Lily, where I talk about all of the crafty goodness that I've been up to over the past couple weeks. Today I have a few finished objects to show you, lots of new cast-ons and Christmas gifts that I've been working on. So instead of rambling on at the beginning, let's do our quick announcements and we'll move on with things. There are a couple places you can find me on the internet. The first is birchandlilyfiber.com. You can also find me on Instagram at birch.and.lily. And I guess there is technically one announcement. I should let you know to keep your eye on either the community tab here on YouTube or on my Instagram to hear all about what I'm doing for Black Friday coming up. I am going to have a new collection release and everything on the site will be going on sale as well. So there's definitely going to be a lot of fun stuff for Black Friday. So make sure you don't miss out on that. But yeah, that is everything. Where you can find me, Black Friday sale. We're good to go. Let's just jump on into my finished objects. I have two this episode, both hats. I think I showed one of these last episode and one I did not. But when you have 2 weeks in between episodes, it's easy to cast something on and finish it within those 2 weeks. So hopefully my monitor is not behaving today and I'm totally looking at everything like sideways. So hopefully there isn't too many issues. I mostly use it just to make sure everything is focused, so we should be fine. But let's start with my first finished object. This is the Agate beach hat. This is a pattern by Lindsey Fowler. I do believe I showed this one last episode. There's a nice extra long brim on it that you can fold up. So I knit the toddler child size, I think this is called, of the pattern. And yeah, it was a really nice fast knit. The texture on here is super simple. It doesn't take a lot of thinking. I had the pattern memorized by probably 2 repeats. So if I can memorize the pattern, that tells you it's pretty easy. And then color wise, I did just use a whole bunch of scraps from my stash, but I do have the names for all of them. This main color here is from Fiber for the People on their Loft base in the color Seaglass. And then the deep green in there is from Autumn and Indigo, their classic sock. That's a one-of-a-kind color. And then the in-between blue, that's from Sugarplum Circus, their smooth sock base in Seaglass. So obviously I can't try this on because it's for a child, but it's done in time. I needed it for a gift this coming Sunday, I think. So I have this done and now my plan is, we'll see if I get all 3 pairs done, but I want to knit some like newborn socks out of all 3 of the colors in this hat. We'll see. If I only get 1 or 2 pairs done, that's fine, but I just wanted those to go along with the hat as well, mostly because I'm not sure. I don't have many babies in my family or around me, at least not newborns. I'm pretty sure this is going to be too big for a newborn. So I figure they can use the socks for the time being and then the hat later on down the road. So that is my plan with that finished object. And then I also cast on and finished a Harlow hat. So this here is a pattern I've been talking about for forever, I swear. This is from Andrea Mowry. I made the adult small size, and what I did, which anyone can do, I guess, is I planned, or what am I saying? What I did is I made the hat longer than the pattern called for because I wanted whoever wears it to be able to fold it up and have like a double brim so it's extra warm. And the other fun thing about this pattern is if they don't like this being the main color, it's totally reversible and then they can do the brim that way. So yeah, it was a really, really fun knit. So fun, in fact, that I have a second one to show you in a little bit. But it is all in brioche. And I think if you have never knit brioche before, this is literally the perfect pattern to learn it on. I guess I'll flip it to the right side again. But it's very, very little complicated stitches. The only brioche decreases you have to do are at the top of the brim, or the top of the hat. What's that called? I don't know, top of the hat. That's the only place you have to do decreases. So very, very easy, very mindless brioche. I did have, so this is, I guess I'll start with, this is the first time I've done a 2-color tubular cast on. And I swear I restarted this so many times until I figured it out. But once I figured it out, now it's easy. The second hat I cast on once. I did not have to cast on multiple times. So that's exciting that I've now learned the 2-color tubular cast on. Very simple. Andrea Mowry actually has a wonderful tutorial for it that I used, and I was able to figure it out really easily. So I guess even though it's a gift, I might as well put it on. I actually haven't put it on since I blocked it, but oh man, so cute. It's interesting how the brioche kind of stretches. Well, obviously the brioche stretches out because it's a hat, but you don't see the color change or the 2 different colors as much when it's stretched out, which is kind of nice. It's less, I hate to say crazy, less noticeable that the 2 sides are different, but I think it's really cute. So I used, gosh, I should check my hair first. Hat putting on is not great for doing and keeping one's hair nice. So what did I use for this? I used both Birch, gosh, there's dog hair on it. It's that time of year, seriously, so much shedding. I used 2 colors from the shop for this. The darkest color is Birch and Lily Fiber Co.'s Blackcurrant. Both of these are on the Birch sock base, which is an 80/20. So the darkest is Blackcurrant, and then the lighter, this is from the spring collection actually. This is Denim Pansy. So excited to have that done. And like I said, I cast on a second one already. It's been such a nice, fun knit. I've been enjoying having hats in my purse as opposed to socks for travel knitting. I'm almost thinking once I finish my second Harlow, everyone talks about the Musselburgh hat, which is basically just knitting a huge sock. And I'm kind of thinking I want to cast on one of those with one of my endless amounts of single skeins of fingering weight yarn that I have kicking around. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know, we'll see. But for now, I have that second Harlow cast on. I'm glad to have this one done and blocked, and I'm really happy with the fit. I did have to drop down, and I know I always say now that I'm not going to talk about needle sizes a bunch, but my goodness, I had to drop down a lot of needle sizes for that. But I'm working on it. I think I figured out a way that I like to tension my yarn now, as opposed to just, I used to just drape it over the one finger and that was all I did to tension, but now I'm wrapping it twice, and I think that's made a pretty big difference. So I'm excited to have figured that out. I'm gonna have to remember the projects though that I wasn't tensioning that way on and make sure that I don't, because that'll obviously change the gauge of the project, but that's my own issue to deal with for the time being. So yeah, I really, really like that Harlow hat. It's been a really fun knit. I might even make one for myself instead of the Musselburgh. We'll see if I'm Harlowed out by the time I finish the second one, but been a really fun knit. I feel like I'm finally getting through some of my Christmas knits, so that's good. On the topic of those hats though, I used to always just knit my hats magic loop with a really long, like 40-inch cable on my circular needles, but I've started using 16-inch needles and I'm in love. I've never been a 9-inch needle person. I can't do socks on those, they hurt my fingers, but a 16 is perfect for a hat, and I don't think I will ever go back. I have a nice large collection of 16-inch circular needles now for knitting hats. So I think that might be one of the reasons I've really been enjoying it, but I don't know, it's been really fun to knit hats. And actually, I've started knitting quite a few socks again too. I think the Christmas gift knitting is getting me back in that mood. Now, that's not to say I don't have a massively long list of sweaters that I still want to knit, but it's been nice to do some smaller projects and feel accomplished a little bit more, because sweaters take so long. So yeah, that is all I have for finished objects. I guess all is a bad way to say it. I finished 2 projects, which is exciting. But let's jump into what I've been working on. So I have 3 project bags here. And I was gonna say, and 4 projects, but no, there's another note at the bottom of my stuff. So 3 other projects that I've been working on lately. The first, oh, do I have a sock blocker? I found one. Let me put this sock on there quick before I talk any more about the project. So the first thing that I've been working on, I have one finished. This is the Boreal slippers pattern from Lindsey Fowler of Larkspur Knits. So that's why it's a little loose on the blockers, because it is a slipper, and that's totally fine with me. I kind of like that because it puts less pressure on me to have it fit absolutely perfect. So this is a gift. I'm not going to say who these gifts are for. I don't think the people watch, but just in case, then there's still a little bit of mystery. This project bag is from Birch Grove. And yeah, I have the first sock totally finished. I cast on the 64 stitch size for this. And as you can see, you knit the cuff super duper long. Sorry, my hanging sock blocker hanging yarn is there. And then it gives you the option to, you could wear it like this if you wanted, but the pattern is written to then fold down and have the super squishy cuff. The pattern is really simple, really well written, like all of Lindsey's patterns. I did change one thing. It had a, I don't know what the cast on is. I think it's supposed to end up being a tubular cast on. My brain was not working that day and I could not figure out what the pattern said at all. So I ended up skipping that and just doing my regular German twist cast on, which is totally fine. I really don't think it's going to make much of a difference. And if I don't tell the gift recipient, they're not going to know. So that is the first sock. This is just a regular slip stitch heel flap and gusset. Oh, that's the other change I made. I find the heel flap and gussets in Lindsey's pattern are always a little bit too deep for my liking. So I did shorten that up. Instead of doing, I think the pattern calls for 18 repeats, I did 15. So, and that's usually what I do with all of my socks. Yeah, so first sock complete. This yarn that I use is also from the shop, the spring collection, Birch and Lily Fiber Co. The person I'm knitting this for asks every time I knit them something if it's out of my yarn. So I said, this time it must be out of my yarn. So this colorway here is called Strawberry Blonde Marigold. So I have, like I said, the first sock done, and I've cast on the second sock. Did I say this is a DK weight slipper sock? I'm going to call it a sock even though the pattern calls it a slipper, because let's just have it. But this is DK weight, and I'm actually really liking knitting this. So as I say that I said it was a 64 stitch sock, that is a lie. It's a 54 stitch sock because it's DK. I'm gonna change that on my notes right now, because the next time I write notes when this is finished, I'm going to just check this week's notes for the information on it, and I'm gonna end up saying the wrong thing again. So 54 stitches. Whoopsies. My apologies on that, but yeah, 54 stitches because this is DK. So I am working away on the cuff. I haven't picked this up in probably a week. I did all of this, I would say, in the first week since the last episode. So yeah, second cuff on the go. I can totally finish these before the next episode, I'm sure. They're very fast knit with them being DK. And now that I have the first sock figured out, I don't have to be measuring it. I can just count how many rows I have on the foot and knit the exact same. And it makes the whole process a lot faster. So really loving the Boreal slippers. I definitely can see myself casting on another pair as a gift knit if I ever need one, just because it worked up so fast. And like I said, I cast on another Harlow hat. Where's this bag from? I can never remember. Studio in the Green. I don't know if they're making bags anymore, but super cute. And I am knitting this with 2 fingering weight skeins. Of course, it's the fingering version of the Harlow hat. So this, I gotta move this bag so I can see my monitor. This is the yarn I've chosen. So this color here, this is from a dyer that's unfortunately no longer dyeing anymore, Peepaloo Fields. This colorway is called Brownie. I really hope there's some left by the time I'm done this. There should be. The other hat used only about half a skein of each color because I definitely want to make myself something with this. It's just so pretty. Like all sorts of warm browns, and there's like the littlest bit of burgundy in there as well. And then this one is from my shop on the Birch sock base in the colorway Rouge. This is from the fall collection. And like I said, I cast on Harlow hat number 2. And here's where I am. Let me move some of this yarn out of the way. So I've got it on the 16-inch circulars, and I've got probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches done. These Progress Keepers, oh my gosh. While I'm talking about this, I'll show you the other set that I got. This is from Denim and Rain, and she hand pours these with resin. Do you see the little mushrooms inside that sheep? So cute. Just adorable. I love it so much. So like I said, I got 2 sets. So these are the other 2 like accent markers that go with, oh gosh, my monitor, I'm so sorry. These are the 2 accent markers that go with that sheep that's on my Harlow hat. And then I also got this set, and it's got the most beautiful like coppery, how do I even just copper. Focus, please. Look how cute that is. So I'm not sure what I'm going to put it on yet. It's got to go on something perfect. Don't focus on my face. Ugh. It's got to go on the perfect project. But Denim and Rain, super, super talented. There's the back of the card. And of course, I'll have her link down below as well. But I have really been enjoying this sheep, and it's big, but it sure ain't heavy. I don't even feel it on the project. And these also have, I think you can pick between these, what are they called? Latch hook? I think it's latch hook. I could be wrong. You can choose between this type of finding or a lobster clasp. And I think a couple episodes ago, I had said how much I love this finding instead. It's just so much easier to get on the projects. So I love that she has the option to choose that as well. Anyways, back to my Harlow hat. Like I said, I'm knitting this on the 16-inch circulars. So I've chosen the Rouge to be the main color, and then the Brownie to be the accent color on the inside. But this one obviously will be fully reversible as well. So for both of these hats, for the one I finished and this one, I'm doing the adult size small. And as you saw, it fit pretty well. I would say I have a large head. I think it's like 21 or 22 inches around. And it fit me just fine. Now I do have to say, I don't know if my gauge is perfect because I had to drop so low on the needle sizes that I finally just said, you know what? This is gonna fit fine. We're going with this. And that is what I did. So, but yeah, I think I'm still, if it fits my head, I'm still within the size measurements of the adult size small. So yeah, I guess my head isn't as large as I thought if I'm not an adult large. But that is hat number 2, my second Harlow hat. I'm just loving the brioche. It's so simple. I think I'm gonna have to film a video of me knitting this and put it up as like a reel and a short on YouTube just to show how easy brioche is, because I know some people are so scared of knitting brioche, but it really isn't that hard. Yeah, you can't knit on it in a movie theater like you can a vanilla sock, but you really can't knit on anything but a vanilla sock or a musselburgh pad in a movie theater. So is it that different? No. I've hit the point though with the simple brioche stitch there that I don't have to fully look at it when we're watching TV at night, so that's really nice. But it's been a really, really fun knit. I've enjoyed it a lot. So, which is good too, because I promised 2 people this hat, but then sometimes you know how you cast on one of the same pattern, or you cast on one pattern, sorry. You cast on one, and then you start to do the second one and you're like, I don't want to do this again. I don't feel that way about the Harlow hat. So that makes me really, really happy. So great choice for Christmas presents. Especially because I knit so many people's socks every year, and I was like, let's do something different that uses up maybe a little bit more yarn and is different and something else they can wear. Because yeah, people love socks. At least the people I knit for, they love socks, but there's only so many socks that a person can wear. So yeah, it's nice to do something a little bit different. Oh no, I zipped the yarn into this. This is why I don't like zippered bags. Oh, thank goodness, it's just the tail end. My next project is the pair of socks I was talking about last episode, I think, that I promised my grandma. Last Christmas, this shows how late these are, she gave me this skein of yarn. Now, I don't know what it is. She did not give me the ball band with it. I'm assuming it's a commercial yarn. If you know what this is, let me know, because I would love to know. It's actually really, really soft for a commercial yarn. I'm assuming it was marketed for socks. And I say that because she gave it to me saying, I tried to knit socks. I couldn't do it. I couldn't figure it out. So I wanted to give you the yarn because I thought you could use it. So I told her I would knit her a pair of socks. Now it's almost been a year and I still haven't done it. So I finally cast them on, and this yarn self-stripes, which is really, really fun. And I am knitting the Homebody socks, which is a pattern from this Handmade Life. They have a really unique heel that I've never done before. Instead of doing the flap for the heel, you increase on the sides of the back of the sock and then decrease to get like the bottom of the heel. Does that make sense? I hope so. Anyways, I cast these on. These are 64 stitch socks, actually, because they're fingering weight yarn. And I am knitting these with my new way of tensioning. I'm going to tuck this end in here so it stops flapping around. And I think the fit is perfect. So I'm really, really happy with that. And you can see the striping. The one complaint I have about this yarn, and the other reason I say it's probably a reasonably priced commercial yarn, quite cheap. I've already had 2 knots in the skein, but I kind of just told myself, you know what, you can't try and make the striping match up again because you don't know where that knot started and stopped. So you can't really tell. The pattern definitely is not exact all the way through because I've had to stop and start for 2 of those knots, but I don't think my grandma's gonna notice. I think she's just gonna be excited that I knit her a pair of socks. So that's kind of what I'm going with. But yeah, these are the Homebody socks by this Handmade Life. It's just a really simple, I think it's called fisherman rib. But I loved learning this new heel, so I'm really excited that I did purchase this pattern. It's cool to see just the ribbing continue that, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the ribbing is flowing out of the front of the sock, basically. So I think that's really neat. I'm almost done on the foot. She has a size 8 foot, so I think I have maybe an inch or 2 more to go, and then I can put in the toe and cast on the second sock. I did count my rows on the back with stitch markers. So what I do, I don't know if that's going to focus because of my face. There we go. What I do is every 10 rows, I put a stitch marker, and then it just makes it really easy for me to count rows. So I will do that on the foot once I'm done it. I haven't done it yet, but then I don't have to sit, like I said, with the Boreal slippers. I don't have to measure or anything. I just say 10 rows, 10 rows, 10 rows, and then I get my perfect fitting sock. So yeah, I really recommend this pattern. It was cool to learn a new heel because all I know, other than now obviously this heel type, which I can't remember what it's called for the life of me, but I normally just use either a heel flap and gusset or like a cut-in afterthought heel. I used to do fish lips kiss heels all the time, but I don't like how those fit me. So now my preference is either a heel flap and gusset, or Lindsey Fowler has, I think they're called a simple shortbread heel. Anyways, they're like a cut-in afterthought heel that has garter on the one portion of it so that they fit almost like a heel flap and gusset. So I really, really enjoy those socks as well, or those sock heels as well. So yeah, cool to learn something new. I love learning something new, and my grandma, I know no matter what those socks look like, she will be very excited about them, so that's good. But yeah, like I said, I'm rolling like crazy on my Christmas knitting. How's your Christmas knitting going? I know some years I feel like I'm rushing. This year I don't feel rushed at all, which is really great. Granted, it's almost the end of November now, so I might feel rushed in like a week or 2. But the main thing that I have to get done now is the socks to go with that baby shower gift. And then after that, I can kind of just take my time because nothing else has to be done until the end of December. So that's really nice. I'm glad I got my husband's Christmas gift done early last episode, and he doesn't care when he gets his Christmas gift, so that's great. But yeah, just those baby socks to cast on, and then I'm working on all my Christmas gifts. I did get some yarn in the mail that I thought I would show you. I think there's just the one thing. Yes. I was very lucky to be contacted by Hobie. Yes. Gosh, I thought I was showing my address. I was very lucky to be contacted by Hobie, and they sent me yarn. I'm going to be brave. I know I've said 1,000 times that I'm allergic to mohair, but I'm starting to wonder if maybe I had a cold the last time I worked with it. Because I've been sticking this all over my face, and I feel fine. It's very soft. But they were so kind to send me yarn, and I'm going to be making the, oh no, Cargill, the Cargill sweater out of it. So I picked out these beautiful grays from their Hobie Friends line that I'm going to be making a Cargill out of. So I think if I finish a couple more Christmas gifts, I'm going to cast on that sweater because I'm really excited for it. I don't have a gray hand knit sweater, which is, I'm going to put this down because it's so crinkly. It's really strange for me because I love gray. If you looked in my closet at all of my stuff that isn't hand knit, half of it is gray, if not more, gray and black. Even this, like this is a blue gray, but it's gray. And I don't have a gray hand knit sweater. So I thought the Cargill would be beautiful. I think I'm going to knit it for my Christmas sweater. We always go out to church Christmas Eve with my family and dress up all fun. And then we come home and have appetizers and just hang out afterwards. But we all dress up for it. So I think I want to finish, we'll see if it happens. But I would love to finish my Cargill in time to wear that for Christmas Eve. So we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, I think once I finish Christmas gifts, I'm also, well, no, I shouldn't because Advent knitting is going to begin. My Advent calendar is in the mail on the way to me from Stress Knits Yarn. My Cozy Knitter 24 stripes self-striping yarn, like sock yarn is here already. I did not wait till December 1st. I opened it already. It's beautiful. I won't show it. I won't spoil it. But I open it ahead of time anyways because I want it wound ahead of time. So I figured I'm just gonna open it when I get it. So that's arrived. And then I do have, which I think I just got a shipping notification for this afternoon. I saw it come in, but I haven't like checked what shipped. But I also did order a Advent calendar from Mulberry Fiber Co. They did like one sock set for all the weeks of December. Will I use those in December? I don't know, but I was just really excited and it sounded fun. So those are my 3 Advents that are coming, which sounds so excessive when I talk about it now, but I love Advents. I love them. Oh, you can't see this episode, but my little sock garland hanging behind me, I'm contemplating, so that, not that you can see it, but there's a sock garland hanging at the top of that window. And I knit an itty bitty little sock for every Advent colorway I got last Christmas. And I'm thinking, I decided if I want to knit a sweater out of my Advent yarn. We'll see what pattern comes with it first of all, because the Advent set from Stress Knits includes a pattern. So if I like that pattern, I might knit that. But I've also thought about maybe doing an Advent sweater. There's one from Tristan Molina of Dragon Horde Yarn that's just beautiful. And I think, because the Advent I ordered from Stress Knits is supposed to be all like earthy, planty sort of colors, so greens and terracottas and like, I don't know, that sort of stuff. So I think that with just like some undyed yarn would make a beautiful striped sweater. So I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is open the first couple days, kind of see where it's going and decide if I want to do a sweater or not. So that is my knitting plans for December, I guess. I really shouldn't cast on another sweater. I'm going to cast on my Cargill and hope it's done for Christmas, but I think that's where I'm going to have to land at. So what are your Christmas knitting plans? Do you have an Advent coming? I love Advent. I love Advent so much. It's my Christmas present every year for my husband now. I order it for myself and tell him he's giving it to me, but it's so much fun because I just love opening those little skeins every day and making something out of it and having something to look forward to. So that is what I'm thinking. And I think by the next time I record an episode is going to be December. So we'll be in the full throes of Advent. That's insane. Anyways, that is all I have to talk about this episode. I won't keep you too long because I can tell this one's getting a little long. I like to try and keep my episodes under the half-an-hour mark these days. So for my sanity, editing wise, and for you, so you can watch more stuff. Oh, I had one other question. What are your thoughts, and who knows if I'll end up doing this, but what are your thoughts of me doing Vlogmas, but instead of uploading an episode every day, uploading an episode of a week combined every week? Let me know what you think. Usually I end up trying Vlogmas and end up failing miserably. So we'll see if that happens, but let me know your thoughts about that. That is all I have to talk about. If you liked what you saw today, please subscribe and hit that like button. It helps me out a lot. It gets the channel out to a lot of other viewers. And I will see you again in December, I guess. Take care. Bye.